Before Hollywood had personal trainers, these stars built their bodies the hard way, boxing in alleys, lifting sandbags, and doing their own stunts. They were strong before strength was cool. Walk into any gym today, and you'll see actors sculpting superhero physiques for 6-month shoots. But rewind 70 years. The golden age didn't celebrate muscle. Studios wanted charm, grace, elegance in a tuxedo. Strength was for circus performers and dock workers, not leading men. Then came the rebels, real soldiers, Olympic champions, former coal miners and circus acrobats who brought actual power to the screen. They didn't train for a role, they lived it. These were the strongest old Hollywood actors, men who fought in real wars, competed in real competitions, and bled through real stunts without a safety harness in sight. From bodybuilding legends who played gods on screen to war heroes who brought battlefield grit to the camera, these muscular movie stars proved that Golden Age fitness wasn't about vanity. It was survival. It was craft. It was the difference between faking a sword fight and actually knowing how to use the blade. No CGI armies, no wire work. No digital abs painted in post-production. Just sweat, iron, and a spotlight that didn't forgive weakness. These are the 20 strongest, most muscular icons of old Hollywood, the vintage strength pioneers who made power look like poetry and turned Hollywood legends into monuments of muscle and will. Some trained like soldiers. Some fought like gladiators. All of them left their mark in sweat and celluloid. Steve Reeves, the blueprint. He played gods on screen and looked like one in real life. Steve Reeves didn't just act strong. He was Mr. America in 1947, Mr. World in 1948, Mr. Universe in 1950. When Hollywood needed Hercules, they cast the only man who already looked carved from marble. His proportions became the gold standard: broad shoulders, small waist, symmetry that made grown men stare. In Hercules and Hercules Unchained, Reeves pulled real chariots and lifted stone pillars on set. No tricks, no doubles, just a former bodybuilder who trained with barbells and gymnastic rings until his body became myth made flesh. He brought classic bodybuilding to the masses before most people knew what a gym looked like. The camera loved him because the world believed him. When Reeves grabbed a sword, you believed he could swing it. When he stood shirtless in sandals, ancient Greece didn't seem so ancient anymore. His influence rippled through generations. Arnold saw him and decided to lift. Entire sword and sandal genres were born from his chest and shoulders. Reeves proved that muscle could carry a story, that strength itself was cinematic. His muscles made him famous. His discipline made him immortal. Reg Park, mass before mass was cool. The British bodybuilder walked onto set and made Hercules look small. Reg Park won Mr. Universe 3 times, 1951, 1958, 1965. When Hollywood needed someone bigger than Reeves, they found Park lifting heavy in a Yorkshire gym. He brought true iron-built mass to the screen. Granite shoulders, tree trunk legs, the kind of size that only comes from real squats and real discipline. In Hercules and the Captive Women, and Hercules in the Haunted World, Park didn't just pose. He moved, he fought, he made 300 pounds of muscle look athletic. Behind the scenes, he trained harder than most actors worked. Heavy weights, high volume, no shortcuts. Arnold Schwarzenegger called Park his hero, watched his films, studied his physique, followed his path from gym floors to movie sets. Park built the bridge between competitive bodybuilding and action cinema, proof that real strength could headline a feature film. The studios wanted spectacle. Park gave them mass and movement, power that filled the frame. He made muscles into myth. Hollywood just pointed the camera. Charles Atlas, the muscle myth maker. He didn't need a movie contract. He built the business of strength itself. Charles Atlas, born Angelo Siciliano, became the world's most perfectly developed man long before Instagram existed. His dynamic tension program sold muscle through mail-order ads that promised skinny kids they'd never get sand kicked in their faces again. It worked. Millions bought in. Atlas appeared in shorts, newsreels, and magazine spreads that made him more famous than half of Hollywood. He didn't need dialogue. His body was the message. Posing in leopard print trunks, flexing for photographers, building an empire one before and after transformation at a time. While actors faked strength, Atlas taught real people how to build it. His legacy wasn't just physical, it was cultural. He turned muscle into aspiration, made strength look attainable, created the fitness influencer model decades before the internet existed. The camera captured him. The world copied him. He built muscles. Then he built a movement. Hollywood just watched from the sidelines. Johnny Weissmuller, Olympic power, jungle grace. 5 gold medals, 67 world records. Then he became Tarzan and made it all look easy. Johnny Weissmuller dominated Olympic swimming in 1924 and 1928. Unbeatable in the water. When MGM needed someone to play Tarzan, they didn't want an actor who could swim. They wanted a swimmer who looked like a god. Weissmuller walked in, and the part was his. For 16 years, he swung through jungle sets, dove into lagoons, and wrestled rubber crocodiles with the ease of a man who'd spent his life mastering his body. His physique was functional, built for speed and endurance, not just show. Lean muscle, powerful shoulders, a chest that filled the frame. He did his own stunts. The vine swings, the water rescues, the famous Tarzan yell echoing through sound stages. Athletic grace translated perfectly to screen power. No weights needed when you've trained your body to cut through water faster than anyone alive. Olympic glory made him a champion. Hollywood made him a legend. His body made both possible. Buster Crabbe, champion turned superhero. An Olympic gold medal, a bronze before that, then Flash Gordon's rocket ship. Buster Crabbe won gold in 1932 for swimming. Hollywood saw an athlete who looked like the future and cast him as Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, and even Tarzan the Fearless. Serials needed heroes who could run, jump, dive, and fight without breaking character or bones. Crabbe delivered. His build was lean and functional. No gym bulk, just the muscle you earn in pools and ocean training. He performed his own stunts through cliffhangers and ray gun battles, bringing real athletic ability to pulp sci-fi adventures. When Crabbe dove off a cliff or climbed a spaceship ladder, audiences believed it because he'd already proven his body could do impossible things. Before superhero movies dominated culture, Crabbe was the original screen superhero. Comic book physique, serial chapter stamina, real champion discipline. He trained for medals. Hollywood gave him rocket packs. His body bridged both worlds perfectly. Burt Lancaster, acrobat muscle. He didn't lift weights. He flew through the air before cameras existed to catch him. Burt Lancaster worked as a professional circus acrobat with K Brothers Circus before Hollywood. Trapeze, tumbling, bar work, rope climbs. His body was built for controlled flight, panther quick, spring-loaded, dangerous. When he transitioned to film, that physicality exploded on screen. In The Flame and the Arrow, Trapeze, and The Crimson Pirate, Lancaster did his own stunts. Real jumps, real sword fights, real rope swings across castle sets. His grace wasn't just athletic, it was balletic. Muscle moving with precision and poetry. Directors loved him because he never needed a double. Insurance companies hated him for the same reason. Lancaster treated every action sequence like a circus performance, calculated risk, perfect execution, crowd-pleasing danger. His physique wasn't about bulk. It was about what that muscle could do. Run, leap, swing, fight, survive. The circus taught him to fly. Hollywood taught him to fight. His body mastered both. Kirk Douglas, Gladiator Drive. He didn't play tough. He was tough. Every frame proved it. Kirk Douglas came from wrestling and fitness backgrounds, bringing relentless work ethic to every role. When Kubrick cast him in Spartacus, Douglas trained like his life depended on it. Sword drills, shield work, arena choreography. His build was explosive, sinewy muscle, coiled energy, defiant strength that burned through the screen. Douglas never faked intensity. He pushed through pain, through exhaustion, through injuries that would sideline softer men. His physique wasn't pretty. It was battle-scarred and functional. The kind of muscle earned through discipline, not vanity. On set, he carried himself like a gladiator even between takes. Demanded perfection. Drove himself harder than any director could. That energy, electric, dangerous, unstoppable, made every fight scene feel real. The arena tested him. The camera captured him. His fire consumed both. John Wayne, ranch-bred power. He never touched a gym. Didn't need to. John Wayne built his strength the old way. USC football in youth, then decades of ranch labor and horseback work. Carrying saddles, lifting gear, long shoots in Monument Valley heat. The Duke's power came from endurance, not vanity. Functional muscle earned through real work under real sun. In The Searchers, True Grit, and countless cavalry films, Wayne carried co-stars, mounted horses in full costume, and worked 12-hour days without complaint. His frame was durable, not sculpted but reliable, the kind of strength that doesn't quit. Studios loved him because he never broke. Audiences loved him because he looked real. No perfectly defined abs. Just a man who could ride all day, fight all night, and still deliver his lines with that slow-burn charisma. Hollywood wanted heroes. Wayne showed up with calluses and did the job. Errol Flynn, athletic swordsman. Fast blade, faster feet, fearless heart. Errol Flynn brought competitive fencing skills to Hollywood and made swashbuckling an art form. In the adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood, Flynn didn't just wave a sword, he danced with it. Real footwork, real jumps, real duels choreographed with athletic precision. His build was lean and explosive. Trained for speed and agility, not bulk. Boxing, riding, sailing. Flynn's body moved like it understood danger and laughed at it anyway. He performed his own stunts, castle climbs, rope swings, sword fights that left stunt coordinators breathless. Off-screen, Flynn lived the same way. Reckless, daring, always moving. His athleticism wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. A refusal to sit still or play it safe. The camera chased him. He was already gone, mid-leap, mid-swing, mid-escape. Clint Walker, tall as a pine, strong as a mule. 6'6", 240 pounds. Gentle as Sunday morning. Clint Walker came from manual labor, merchant seaman, security work, and brought that blue-collar strength to TV's Cheyenne and films like The Dirty Dozen. His size alone was cinematic. Broad chest, tree trunk arms, the kind of frame that made believable those one-hand lift gags where he'd hoist a co-star like luggage. Walker never played mean. His characters were soft-spoken, heroic kind. But when the script called for a brawl, his size sold the violence. Audiences believed he could win fights because honestly, who was going to argue? He lifted props, carried co-stars, and worked long frontier shoots without complaint. His strength wasn't gym pretty. It was working man strong, reliable, unshakable. Hollywood needed a giant. Walker showed up ready to work. Victor Mature, epic chest, epic spectacle. Barrel-chested, broad-shouldered, built for pillars and pageantry. Victor Mature became the hunk of 1940s Hollywood with a thick, powerful build perfect for sword and sandal epics. In Samson and Delilah, he pulled ropes and pushed pillars with convincing strain. In Demetrius and the Gladiators, he wore the arena like a second skin. Mature's physique wasn't about definition. It was about mass and presence. His chest filled costumes. His shoulders carried capes. He trained enough to sell the strength without overdoing it, just enough muscle to make audiences believe in biblical power. He knew what he was. Spectacle, myth, a body cast for epics and built to fill wide screens. No pretense, just power poses and heavy prop work done convincingly. The temples needed a strongman. Mature arrived ready to hold them up. Sean Connery, bodybuilder to Bond. Before tuxedos, there were barbells. Before martinis, there was iron. Sean Connery competed in Mr. Universe contests in the early 1950s, tall class, serious lifter. That foundation showed throughout his career. Thick traps, powerful shoulders, judo and boxing training for Bond fight scenes. Connery brought real strength to elegance, making 007 dangerous instead of decorative. In early Bond films like Dr. No, Connery moved with controlled violence. Casino brawls, beach runs, tactical efficiency. His physique said, train killer, even in formal wear. Muscle under a tux, power wrapped in charm. Later roles kept that edge. Directors knew Connery could handle physical demands without complaint. His body carried authority, the kind earned in gyms, not given by wardrobe departments. Suave on the surface, steel underneath. Bond wouldn't have worked any other way. Charles Bronson, miner's grit, iron will. Coal dust, war service, compact muscle forged in darkness. Charles Bronson came from coal mining stock and wartime service. His build was dense and functional, not tall, not pretty, but unbreakable. That toughness translated perfectly to screen roles in The Magnificent Seven, Hard Times, and The Mechanic. Bronson trained boxing technique for bare-knuckle sequences. His fights looked real because he understood pain. No flinching, no decoration, just efficient violence delivered with blue-collar precision. Directors cast him when they needed authenticity. His physique said survivor before he spoke a line. Compact shoulders, strong hands, a face that had seen hard work and decided to keep going anyway. Style was for other actors. Bronson brought steel. Jack Palance, the boxer with poet's eyes. Tall Tall, angular, strong enough to terrify you with a stare. Jack Palance fought professionally as a young man, served in the military, brought that rangy, dangerous physicality to roles like the gunman in Shane. His frame was all sharp lines and controlled menace, muscle carved from bone, not built in gyms. Years later, Palance dropped for one-arm push-ups at the Oscars. 73 years old, just to prove he still could. That discipline, that refusal to soften, defined his entire career. His strength wasn't about bulk. It was about endurance, durable lungs, iron shoulders, a body that kept working long after softer men retired. Menace needs muscle. Palance had both, and never apologized for either. Anthony Quinn, earthy power, explosive energy. Big shoulders, bigger heart, passion carved from stone. Anthony Quinn came from boxing and manual labor. His build was thick forearmed and broad-shouldered, working man strong. In Zorba the Greek, La Strata, and historical epics, Quinn brought explosive physical energy to every scene. Dance sequences, market brawls, lifting, and carrying choreography that sold dominance. His strength wasn't refined. It was raw, passionate, the kind of power that comes from living hard and refusing to quit. Directors used his physicality to ground larger-than-life characters in real human sweat. Quinn never played weak. Even in emotional scenes, his body language screamed survival. Muscle as metaphor, strength as soul. Passion fueled him. Strength carried him. The screen couldn't contain either. Lee Marvin, Warforged muscle. U.S. Marine, wounded in action, built in combat, refined on camera. Lee Marvin brought real military experience to Hollywood. World War II service, actual tactical movement, hard-set frame built for endurance, not show. In The Dirty Dozen and Point Blank, Marvin moved like a man who'd carried real gear through real danger. His strength was brutal and efficient. No wasted motion, no decoration. Just a tall, lean body that understood violence intimately and delivered it without hesitation. Audiences believed Marvin because he'd lived it. His presence carried weight, the kind earned in foxholes, not on sound stages. Combat taught him. Hollywood filmed him. His body remembered everything. Robert Ryan, the thinking fighter. Collegiate boxer, Marine Corps service, brains and brawn in equal measure. Robert Ryan brought boxing discipline to films like The Setup, where he performed long-take ring sequences with footwork and clinch work accuracy. His build was powerful but not brutish, intelligent muscle, cerebral toughness. Ryan trained speed bags and jump rope. His fight scenes looked real because they were choreographed by a man who understood sport. No Hollywood punches, just clean technique and durable conditioning. Off-screen, Ryan was thoughtful, political, a reader, but when the script called for violence, his body delivered with precision. The ring taught him discipline. The camera captured his intelligence. Both required strength. Woody Strode, trailblazing power. UCLA football star, bodybuilder, pioneer who broke barriers with muscle and grace. Woody Strode brought elite athleticism to Hollywood and made history doing it. In Spartacus, his gladiator fight with Kirk Douglas became legendary, defined musculature on widescreen, agile and powerful at once. In The Professionals, he moved like an athlete who'd never stopped training. Strode's physique was sculpted and functional, fast, strong, beautiful in motion. He carried himself with dignity and discipline, proof that strength could open doors racism tried to keep closed. Athletic excellence, barrier-breaking courage. Strode brought both and made Hollywood watch. Rock Hudson, tall frame, quiet strength. 6'4", broad shoulders, polished power wrapped in charm. Rock Hudson used his frame to project heroic presence in Giant, The Undefeated, and countless romance leads. Studio gym work kept his silhouette powerful, the kind of build that carried co-stars smoothly and handled riding and fight choreography without complaint. Hudson's strength was dependable, not flashy, just reliable physical presence that filled the frame and sold leading man authority. Directors trusted him with demanding shoots because his body never quit. Hollywood wanted tall, dark, and handsome. Hudson added strong and kept working. Yul Brynner, disciplined, coiled power. Compact, commanding, strength measured in presence, not pounds. Yul Brynner came from stage acrobatics and relentless rehearsal. His build was cat-like, compact musculature, saber work, strong posture earned through flexibility and strength training. In The Ten Commandments, The Magnificent Seven, and The King and I, Brynner commanded scenes through disciplined physicality. His strength wasn't about size. It was about control. Every gesture deliberate, every movement precise. Power coiled tight and released exactly when needed. Command is strength. Brenner proved it in every frame. These men built the foundation of movie masculinity without CGI, protein shakes, or body doubles. They lifted real swords, fought real battles, and carried Hollywood's biggest dreams on their backs. No green screens, no stunt doubles for the hero shots, no digital abs painted in post-production. Just sweat, iron, discipline, and endurance. These strongest old Hollywood actors proved that Golden Age fitness wasn't a trend, it was survival. From Olympic pools to coal mines, from boxing rings to battlefields, from circus tents to gladiator arenas, they brought real strength to Hollywood and made audiences believe in heroes again. These muscular movie stars didn't fake power, they earned it. Today's stars train for months to look like superheroes. These men lived it every day. Reeves built the bodybuilding blueprint. Lancaster flew without wires. Connery lifted before he charmed. Bronson survived before he intimidated. Strode broke barriers with grace and muscle. They were stuntmen, athletes, soldiers, survivors. They made classic bodybuilding cinematic. Turned vintage strength into box office gold. Proved that Hollywood legends aren't born. They're forged in gyms, rings, pools, and places far harder than any soundstage. Fashion changes. Strength doesn't. These were the original action heroes, the 20 strongest, most muscular icons of old Hollywood. No illusions, no shortcuts, just iron and will. Hollywood built legends. These men built themselves first.